One, two, one, two. Yes, I will. Think I'm on now. Welcome to the Soccer Huddle. This is your boy Mojere. It's just an ordinary guy discussing the beautiful game, discussing Quele. Yeah, hey. Oh, my God. Quele, I'm out to. Yeah, and we're back. We're back. No colorist thing, but we are back. And I'm so happy that we are back. We can finally speak about the thing that we love most, soccer. And yeah, we saw the couple of results. As I said in my thumbnail, advantage Arsenal. So we saw Liverpool dropping two crucial points to the arch rivals Man United, and City opening the match day week with a convincing 4-2 win against Crystal Palace, and Arsenal obviously thumping Brighton. I don't know what is happening with Brighton at the moment, but they don't seem to be the same side. Elo Horenge, the manager, was praised throughout the league, and at one point, I think he was also in the Man United job to replace Eric Ten Hag, and Eric Ten Hag, man, obviously, as we said, um, holding Liverpool to a two-all entertaining draw at Old Trafford, and I'm so happy to say this. Finally, 3 games we played Liverpool. This is our biggest rival, Never mind City, never mind Arsenal and Chelsea's, but Liverpool is our biggest rival. We are chasing the same number of titles. 3 games this season, no win for them, and we drew 2, and obviously that cup game where we eliminated them out of the FA. Klopp leaves this season without beating Eric Ten Hag. I know it's not much to celebrate. As a Man United fan, I tend to celebrate each and every victory that I tend to get. So yeah, let's get straight down to it. I thought last week, is it last week or the week before that match day where City played Arsenal? I thought that game didn't live up to expectations. I thought one of those two teams would ruin that chance, would ruin not taking that game to the other. I think Manchester City always go win, and Arsenal defended, and they did defend very well. And some might say they've learned their mistake from past experiences, because if you look at them, Habadalali City, especially the Etihad, not Etihad, especially they're playing City, whether it's Etihad, whether it's away, City tend to beat them, and City tend to run away with it. And I think that's why I said they will say they've learned their lesson. They didn't let any goals in. They were solid at the back, and obviously, one would argue. I don't know. This is my take. Saliba and Gabriel, the two most informed, or the two best centre back pairing more the EPL this season. Let me know what you think of that. And I say this because if you look at all the centre backs in the league, I think one that have been consistent, that have been played together for a very long time. Because if you look at my team, Man United, we've been hit with an injury season where Martinez has been out for almost half of the season. Liverpool, Consalen has been in and out with Van Dijk as well. CT Stones as well, Akanji. When you go to Tottenham, Van de Beek was one of the top defenders when season Toma, but he's also been hit with injury. And you look at Aston Villa as well, Lebo Torres, Lebo Konza as well, and you look at who else? Chelsea was Thiago Silva, Salawala, the coach, and they were dropped to the bench, and so as I said, they've been for me have been the best pair at the centre back, Saliba and Gabriel this season. And they've proved their worth when they kept Manchester City. I think they've gone about 8 or I'm not if wrong. Okay, let me not say a number, but they've gone a number of consecutive games without conceding and keeping a clean sheet. So right at the back as well. Hey, Marabonica Champions League. Hey, that penalty. We'll discuss that in another video for another day. But today we're speaking about the EPL. So yeah, Manchester United versus Liverpool, Old Trafford. A beautiful game. We saw especially as a neutral, you really enjoyed that game. We saw both sides. My team, man. What can I say about Man United? Yeah, we're still in crisis, and there's a lot of speculation. There's a lot of rumors going around already. The game that we're going to play tomorrow against Bournemouth might be actually Eric Ten Hag's last game in charge of Man United. And to be honest with you, it doesn't sit well with me. I remember telling this to Bazero Hore. Fine, I get it. I get it. I get it. Sometimes you would be so disappointed ka starting lineup sa high. Sometimes you'll be pissed off at the substitutions sa high, and sometimes you'll be like, "Where's this guy's game management skills?" And you look at all that. Nah, I look at all that. Having said all that, and get it agree we are in one package. For me, I don't think he deserves the sacking. For me, I think he deserves another season. For me, I say we give him one last season. Then, because let's just say for God's sake, let's say a coach most of the time, Mojere, on a three year contract, right? So the first year is to analyze the players that he have. He might have come a planets are high and his players as well. So he would buy a few, maybe sell a few, or maybe there's players in that team who when that manager applied for that position, he already seen, oh, this one I'm not gonna use, that one I'm not gonna use. So that's the first season. The second season is a clearing out season for me. He needs to clear out. Now we need to start seeing, the players that he's gonna use and the players that he's not gonna use. So meaning what, he's gonna sell a few players, he's gonna buy a few players. So that's season number 2. Then we start to see what he wants the team to play like. In today's game, by it's a style of play. That's what they say. Season 3 as well. Season 3 now, we need to see progress now. We need to see progress. Now, when you look at Eric Ten Hag, I think vice, or not even vice, because I think it happens to most of the teams where you find in the first season, players would want to impress the manager. They would play for the manager. They will put 100%. That's what happened for me to Eric Ten Hag. The players played, and he thought he had a good crop of players, but we knew them. So this for me, last season he was supposed to sell a few players, and we saw he tried to. He put some of the players in the market. He wanted money to buy new players. Unfortunately, he didn't have the budget, and unfortunately, he couldn't sell anyone. So this season, for me, I would say, Eric, sell those bunch of losers. There's a lot of players there. If you sack the manager, there's a lot of players that will be on their 5th manager in the league, in the club. Players that have outstayed 5 managers and haven't won anything in those spells. They've only won a Europa League and an FA Cup and a Carabao recently. Have you say, I don't know what you think about that, but me, I'm like, something must change. Something must change. But anyways, let's go back to the match. So a great goal. Liverpool opened the scoring, and then we obviously equalized. And what a beautiful goal for Kobe Mainoo to get his first United goal at Old Trafford, or his first goal at Old Trafford United. He scored his first Old Trafford goal for United. Okay, and again, that game for me, it looked similar or more like the FA Cup that we played against Liverpool. The midfield for me was so open that both teams, we were playing tennis. It was that side. Liverpool had again so many chances. They could have buried the game in the first half. And I thought Jurgen Klopp and his team coming to Old Trafford would have learned from the FA Cup clash that we had with them a few weeks back. But they didn't. At least they missed those chances. And you know what they say, a football game is a game of small margins. If you miss those goals, you'll get punished. And we saw, and again, VAR coming to the spotlight. Whether you agree, let me know what you think. Was there a penalty by Elliott? Again, Thursday night last week against Chelsea, 2 penalties, 2 questionable penalties. What do they have against my team? I don't know. I can't go. So let me know in the comment section. What do you think? Were those penalties? Rabone Saka at Champions League. Saka at Champions League. What happened as well? Was there a penalty as well from Saka? You never know. So yeah, and then we ended up drawing that game 2-2, and assistance Arsenal. Honey, where's the remote? The remote is Arsenal. What? Where's Arsenal? Where's the remote? I'm looking for the remote. Stop telling me about your soccer, man. Yeah, the remote is Arsenal. Hey, man. What the hell is Arsenal? on top of the table. The Gunners are on top of the table with a point difference between them and Liverpool and City. And we get to see them entertain an informed team or any consistent under 4 team, Aston Villa. I think, and I said this the other day, with Aston Villa, they sold their game to Manchester City. But if you look at that game, I don't know what Unai was thinking. He put some of his best players on the bench, and he played with with the team that he went out. Tillemans was on the bench, Torres was on the bench, Bailey was on the bench. I was like, what is he trying to do, and what is he saving them for? Because on the weekend they was not playing like a top team, but obviously City is a top team. Not like they were not playing a cup final. They were not playing. I did not understand what was the starting lineup, but anyway, defeated. So now they entered. They play against Arsenal, top of the league, with 1 goal and 1 goal in mind to get a win and stay on top. Liverpool, obviously, they are up against Crystal Palace, which Manchester City beat last week, and City are up against Luton team, my team of the season, obviously. And I know people will say, when Mojere wa hafanya, like I've said this a couple of times. Of me, Luton, they've been my team of the season, because, and the reason why I'm saying this, they are underdogs because they came into this league. Everyone said they're gonna go back straight. They might still get relegated, but for me, they had a good season. For me, even in games that were beaten, they were always in the game. They were never beaten like 5-0 or 6-0 or 7-0. Unlike the Burnley side, where it had higher expectation when it came into the EPL. But Luton, for me, they've been playing well. Luton, for me, have been playing like they need to stay in the league. And if they are to stay in the league, it would have been a great achievement. Look at their team. I think they don't have any big star names. I think the inclusion of Rose Barkley and Adam. Yeah, so, yeah, as I said, as I was saying before we got interrupted by this, when way this internet providers banana jealous and all that. So yeah. I was just saying that Luton needs to be let me fix this, guys. Luton, for me, needs to stay up. I think they've done enough for me to stay up. And if they were to stay up, it would be a great accomplishment, because they've really deserved to stay up in the league. They did not come to say we just here to add the numbers, but they came and okay, let me leave it like that. They came and they made they made it count. And yeah, obviously, Crystal Palace for Liverpool is going to be a difficult game. Will Jurgen Klopp remember when the season started, and when not the season started, when he announced that he's leaving, people were like, yeah, he's going to attend the hopes of a league title. Yeah, and I think it's a very important game for Liverpool. They have to win that game. And against the Crystal Palace, Bonele last week when they were playing against Manchester City, they were the first one on the scoreline. And Salah has not been himself. Salah has not been himself. Nunes, you saw Thursday, he's been missing chances, and I think they need those guys to step up. I think Bazir was saying the team has won without Mo Salah, but I'm saying this is when they need Mo Salah more than ever, because he's their star player, and for me, he needs to perform. He needs to help them to where they want to be. And obviously, City as well, coming from that 3-3 draw against the champions of Spain, against the European champions, Real Madrid. I don't know. Will they rest players for that Luton game, for that return leg, Real Madrid, and risk losing those points? I don't think Pep would want to do that, because if they lose that point, there might be a possibility that they lose the grip on the league as well. And can Arsenal also afford to do the same as well, because they've got a return leg. They have to go to Allianz Arena to play against Bayern Munich in the second leg of the Champions League. So it's a do or die for them, and I think it will all depend on either manager which one they want to prioritize, and it doesn't have to necessarily be which one we have to prioritize they can both prioritize both and see on how far they can get in both Champions League and the EPL. And Arsenal, as I said, advantage to them. They are the ones leading the table at the moment. And yeah, the relegation battle as well heats up. We saw the FA deducting points for both Northern Forest and Everton again. And as I said, Luton, they are only goal difference behind Forest. And I think Everton about 2-3 points out of the relegation battle. So it is heating up. It is heating up. It's That's why I said it's a very important game for both Luton and City on either side of the table. And Women United, they're fighting for that fifth and final spot, the Champions League. Newcastle as well, they're on their heels, go number 7, Dasso, and Aston Villa and Tottenham, they're fighting for that fourth and fifth places. And you know what? Because throughout the season, we've been saying fifth position or fifth spot might be enough for you to get in Champions League next season. By the looks of it, by the looks of how the English teams are doing in Europe, it might not happen. Fifth spot might be actually gone to either Germany or France. If you look at it and you say we depend because we're now depending on English team to do well. So I think if you are a Man United, if you're an Aston Villa, if you're a Tottenham Hotspur, you need to push for that fourth spot. Leave the fifth spot to chance. And I think my team is out. I don't think we're gonna go to the Champions League next season. I think we'll be on here Thursday night singing do 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 do. We'll be Liverpool for next season in the Europa League. I think fourth spot is out of reach for us unless something drastically happens. Unless something drastically happens. Let me know as well what you think in the comment section. Remember, like, share, and subscribe. Arinyake Zaka fella, Arinyaka fella, what? And the boys are back. Next week, the boys are back. Tanga is back. The boy is back. Until we meet again. Remember, prevention is better than cure. Don't risk it unless it's worth it. I'm out. Hey.